It's just empty.
Oh, very good.
There's nothing here.
So this is a perfect place to start. So I'd like for you to use those skills that have been dormant for a very long time. Those skills to allow your soul to project itself. And imagine that happening as you begin to move forward. What do you imagine that is in this empty place, if you knew? What do you imagine this place is that is so empty?
Just a resting, calm place.
Beautiful. And in this resting, calm place, are you by yourself or are there others?
I'm just energy resting here.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now when you're energy and you're resting, you're often guided. And I'd like for you to take a moment and invite your guide to be with you in this resting place. And tell me when your guide appears. What is the essence of your guide?
I'm trying to feel it.
Mm-hmm. What does it feel like when you're trying to feel your guide?
Just warm light on the peripheral.
Does the light have a color?
Yellowish white.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for you to ask your guide, why is it that your guide is yellowish white and not another color? What does that represent? Is it symbolic?
It's simplistic.
Simplistic, very good. Is it always this warm yellow light?
It's in the past been so powerful that I can't even look at it.
Mm-hmm. So has your guide brought it down for you to be able to look at it now?
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now we all know that your guide has brought you to be in this place today. What does your guide tell you that you need to see today?
I feel the resistance from my guide. I feel that
Does your guide allow us to delve into more information?
I feel like they're saying it's up to me.
Okay.
That they're kind of waiting for me.
Okay. Well, we always ask the guide for permission to allow you to experience things that you need to experience. Do we have permission from the guide?
Yes, we do.
Very good. So does your soul give permission to see some things that we need to see today?
Yes, it does.
Very good. So listen carefully. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you will leave this beautiful empty place and allow your guide to take you to whatever it is that your soul needs to experience. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you? If you knew, even if you think you're making it up, what's the first thing that you notice? Yes.
It's the same place, Alba.
It's the same place. Very good. So something in this place is important. So just allow yourself to relax. And we all know that you're a very powerful creator. So begin to use your mind to create what it is that your soul needs to experience. What's the first thing that pops up? Notice if there's color, if there's movement, if it's perhaps a memory.
I'm a bit frustrated that I just am blank. There is nothing here.
Very good. That's okay. So let's do something. I'm going to have you go back to that place where I first talked about. A place with doors. And I'd like for you to create that place in your mind now. Imagine yourself being in front of a door. What does this door look like to you if you were to create it?
Looks like looking through doors as if you're looking through mirrors.
All right, very good. So as you're looking through that door, we're going to ask that the one that took the travels be on the other side. The other David. So I'm going to count to 3, and I'd like for you to open that door of mirrors. 1, 2, and 3. And you'll be able to observe that David taking all of those journeys. What do you notice him doing? Where is he going? Yes. What's the first thing you notice?
He's everywhere, nowhere.
So keep talking. Tell me what that means.
He's hiding somewhere.
Why do you imagine he's hiding? Are you meant to find him?
He was meant to forget everything.
Okay. Why was he meant to forget everything?
Because he's been everywhere.
And if you've been everywhere, how would that affect you? If you remember.
You exit this place. You leave the simulation.
So I'd like for you to look around and see if your guide is with you as you're watching this other David.
It's beyond time. It's beyond comprehension.
Okay. So if you've been here before and you've forgotten, let's focus on what it is that you do need to remember. I want you to find that, David. What part did he need to remember?
He's trying to break free.
For what purpose?
And none of this is a done deal.
Can you explain that to me, please? What does that mean, that it's not a done deal?
Even on the other side, it never ends. It's a constant effort. Constant effort goes throughout time.
And what is the purpose of having to have constant effort?
To reach your full potential. To remain your authentic self.
Yes. So far has he gone in reaching his potential?
It's not just here that the work is being done. It's simultaneously happening. Outside of this realm.
Okay. Now, one of the things that there was a question is, how do these realms operate? Dive deeper into that.
It's through portals. It's through old contracts, old allegiances and new ones. It's through being brave and going out into new frontiers.
Yes.
And it's a paradox because you can't have a question in that place.
Why is that?
Because there are no questions in those places, that it just is. The questions are only here.
Okay. Is that the reason why people come to Earth? To ask questions?
As above, so below. This is a metaphor, this place.
Tell me about that metaphor.
It's an expression of it's an expression of a deeper place. It's an image.
Yes.
Slowed down to experience. The choices you're actually making elsewhere. You believe you're making them here, but you're not.
Where is this elsewhere, where we make these choices?
It's boundless and infinite. Beyond time and space, beyond anything you can conceive of here.
Who is making the choices?
You, it is you, it's your being. You call it your higher self. It doesn't necessarily feel like a higher self, the higher self itself. It's just a higher version of you.
Yes. And this higher version of you, is it experiencing everything at once?
Depends what's going on. It's traveling a lot. It's constantly moving, negotiating. It's tricky. It's not all bliss, you know.
Tell me what happens when it's not all bliss.
You have to maintain the light. You have to maintain your authentic self or you lose yourself. And it casts a stronger image here. It binds you here, which affects that place also.
That place that you talk about, is that place where you say it's everywhere?
It just is. It's ancient. It's very, very ancient. It's the construct, the true construct.
Would you tell me more about this construct?
It all operates through portals. It's all encoded. It's all protected. It's all encoded and protected so that it cannot be corrupted.
Who protects the portals?
We all do. It's by nature. Meaning they were designed that way. They are designed that way. They're very powerful. That if you don't handle them, they will handle you.
Where are these portals located?
They're within you. They've always been within you. They're within all of us.
Where do these portals take you?
They're ancient. They go to everything that we think we talk about, that we think we know about mythologically, anciently. It's all the times before, all the realities before, all the epochs before. It never ended. They're all ongoing. They're all simultaneous. They all loop back and forth. They're constantly adjusting. None of it disappeared. We're not waiting for anything. We're fine-tuning everything. We're fine-tuning everything.
So are you saying that the past is still being fine-tuned?
It's all going on right now. We're all being mind-wiped. We're all not allowed to remember everything in either other place, to not corrupt them and to not influence them. It has to be in balance, has to be fair, has to be, in quotation marks, free will. Free will can only experience itself if you don't remember the other places. When you do remember, then you're somewhere in between. You're somewhere everywhere.
What would be so dangerous about going into a past place of yours and changing it?
Oh, he's done all of that. He's tried everything. And there are really no hacks. He thought he could be clever. He thought he could hack things. What was it? Brave. He was very brave. He is dealing with a lot of damage. He has enemies. They do exist. It's not a bed of roses. None of this is easy, and it's not supposed to be.
Why would it not be easy? Why does it have to be difficult?
Because when you want something truly awesome, it takes a bit of effort. It takes holding up the pillars to the heavens. It takes responsibility. There is moments of rest, of bliss, but we choose to come back. God knows why, but we choose to come back and carry this creation on. Until...
Yes, continue.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and compete with that. We'll wait for it to pass.
Just keep talking. Tell me more about that.
Saved by the drill? I do have a sense of humor.
So who are the ones who are trying to sabotage his session?
It's interesting, isn't it, Alba? Because it's interesting. It's interesting. There will be a final battle for me. There will be a final split.
And we could see that they're already using sound effects and things to sabotage it.
And I've had it. That time I told you I was trying, when I was naive and I was going to affect someone else's simulation, I was about to tell them something profound. And before I could tell them, they had to stop me and tell me they had a dream 2 nights before, and in the dream they had was exactly everything I was about to tell them. And then suddenly it was like interference on the phone, like a table being dragged across the floor. And we freaked out, so we tried a different communication method, a different messenger.
Good. So today we're going to use that noise to take you even deeper.
I didn't finish the story. Every messenger we tried, the noise got louder and louder. And that night, 3 demons came for me and marked me because they understood that I was, I'm trouble for them.
So we're not going to have that trouble today, because
I don't mind.
We're going to use that noise to go even deeper. So I'd like for you to take a deep breath and ride that noise deeper and deeper. Just ride it. That's it. That's it. Just ride it as you're riding a ride, going deeper and deeper. That's it. Very good. The louder it gets, the deeper you go. That's it. Right to the core. Right to the core of the information. Almost as if you were drilling in through all of the core. That's it. Very good. Yes, what's happening? Yes, who's there?
It is beautiful.
Tell me about that.
God, it's so powerful.
Tell me about that.
When you truly understand, when you are honorable enough to understand the magnificence, you will never corrupt it, you would never abuse it. You will only support it with your whole essence. You will sacrifice your avatar for it. That's why they have sabotaged me.
That's all right.
That's okay. I don't care. They know I don't care. They know I'm going to break away.
You've got an ally with you today. We're going to go deeper into this today.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to ride that noise. They know that they cannot work magic on you today. Tell me what this place is like. This beautiful place.
I'd only be making it up because you can't define it. It's your own creation.
Yes.
It's traveling through ancient portals, through the creation, through the constructs. And they're all encoded, and they're all ancient, and they know you. They know you, and they remember you, and you remember how you've been through them all, and how long ago it was. It's so old. We are so old, we couldn't even imagine.
So when you say that we are so old, is this our soul?
Yeah.
And who are they that are with you?
It's not so much that they're watching, and they are guardians. They are the portals, or they are supporting the portals that we access within us. They coexist with the encoding and protection of it all. And it ain't no joke.
Okay, so at this time, knowing that there are guardians protecting the portals, I'd like for you to ask permission of these guardians to go deeper into this information. Do they allow it?
They throw it right back at me.
Okay, so it's up to you.
It's always been up to me.
All right. Are you willing to go deeper into these portals to find out more?
There is like... I have already been told that the time will come. It's tricky. It's hard to understand if I'm stopping myself or if I'm supposed to stop, that it's not the time. It's almost like if I do it, I will no longer be here right now. I'll be gone forever.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and use somebody else's eyes to observe. Find that David that was hiding before and ask him if he will look for you.
We've already joined. We're already here together.
Very good.
It was hard. It was hard work.
So I'd like to ask a question of both of you, the ones who have joined together, about the solar flash. Can you tell me about that? What do you envision?
He's not going to let me know anything about it.
Why is that?
To protect it.
Okay. What is the importance of protecting the solar flash?
It's not so much to protect the solar flash. It's that talking about it can change it.
I see.
Can affect it, can even stop it.
Okay, what is the importance of this solar flash without talking about it?
Not everyone may even experience it. This is the irony. Not everyone will even experience it. This is what is confusing.
So the ones who will experience it, are they the ones that are more enlightened?
The irony. They will be. They will be.
They will be enlightened by it?
It's more of a metaphor.
Okay.
We might see it as bright white light. It's always been a metaphor. Everything is a metaphor. It will be a new day. It will be a transformation, a amorphous.
Yes.
It will be hard.
And it seems that those who are trying to control the narrative have been using lights recently, almost as if they were giving a message. Can you see what that is?
Everything is contaminated here. Everything is hijacked. Everything is inverted and perverted. Everything is twisted. Everything is deception upon layer of deception. The sky isn't real. None of this is real. There is no sky. It's a joke.
Tell me about that. Can you explain that?
It can't be explained, it needs to be experienced.
Okay.
People are starting to understand, and that's why we are approaching the end. The end of this story.
This deception story? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean the story of this Genesis protocol.
Okay.
This rendition. It's all falling apart on every level, the whole construct.
Is it meant to fall apart?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if all of us are here creating this reality, is that what I understand?
We're stopping now.
Okay.
We are stopping co-creating it. Well, there's a lot of people bringing the final stage into full fruition.
Okay. Is this a good thing?
No, it's not good.
Okay. So what can we do about it?
Well, I should clarify. It's not dualistic. It's beyond good or bad. It's what they want. You get what you want. It sucks for those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And we have to just ride it out and be observers.
Okay. Are you able to observe more about this realm?
Well, I've observed it all. I get it all. There's limits on what I can share.
Okay. Can you share whatever it is that you can share?
If you want to believe this is all real, it will be real for you. As soon as you start to grasp the materium as fiction, then it all turns to jelly. And you will start to see miracles, and you will start to understand that there are other benevolent beings here existing and trying to help and support the higher choice. But if you're not ready for that and you're a doubter, you see, you have to believe first before you even have faith. Faith is based on belief, which is why it's called a leap of faith.
Okay.
It's scary.
Yes.
This is why this construct has insane asylums, has prisons, has pits and traps, snakes and ladders. You have to be smart, you gotta be wise, because it doesn't want everyone waking up, not everyone's supposed to. And you can always fall back to sleep, there's tricks. It really depends on what you want to believe.
Yes.
That's what this place is. It's a construct. It's all make-believe. You know, we were told all life is a stage.
Yes.
He wasn't joking.
So, before we started this adventure, I had been speaking to David about some experiences that I had just gone through, where I felt that everything around me was being created for me. Is this what it's like when you're in this place?
Yeah. Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's normally when you're most exhausted and no longer give a cahoot that some amazing things happen. It's when you're really trying and pushing too hard. It just doesn't go the right way. You have to push a little bit, you do, but you have to ultimately let go. You have to almost forget what it is you were doing.
Yes.
Then all kinds of amazing things happen, and you get to things that you didn't even know about that are way cooler than what you originally set out to do. You know, we've been manipulated into all these false paradigms, all these false scripts of what we thought we wanted to do, which we don't want any of that shit. This is the problem. People don't want this bullshit anymore. And when you stop wanting it and you just start trying to really basically live, and I mean like want for nothing,
Yes.
that's when miracles start to happen. And by miracles, just mean you'll see or have experiences, Alba, like you've been having, bumping into a being that was there at the right time, at the right place to help you in the right way, that might have had the right tool that you needed for a job, or the right pair of hands to carry something down the street at the right given moment. And in the back of your head, you probably knew it was always going to be all right. That's why we've got to be kind, patient to others, and non-judgmental, because there are things here to help and guide us. But if you believe the narrative, the main narrative, it's not going to be good for you.
Yes. So is this what happened to David when he just kind of retreated into his van and started living his life his way?
Yeah, lots of miracles, and he saw them. He got lots of down. We've made him forget a lot of the words that we gave him. Beautiful words, old Sanskrit, beautiful words. Beautiful words, beautiful meanings that he never knew before came into his head. He looked them up and it blew his mind, and he's already forgotten them all. But he forgets everything.
Where did those words come from?
Ancient. You see, everything is an archetype. Before words, there were letters. Before letters, there were shapes. Everything is an archetype. Everything has meaning and value. Everything here is an expression of an archetype, a way to experience it. In the beginning it's beautiful, and as it rolls out, it gets terribly corrupted, perverse, horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid. It's, it becomes, as Jason Bashir would say, harrowing. You know, it becomes intolerable to those who can see it. But in the origin, it was very beautiful. Well, they say the first thing was sound. You know, bit by bit, the human experience is increased. You know, sound, sight, feeling, touch. The most highest form of communication is, you know, it's telepathy. You're not using your mouth to speak. You're feeling and visualizing. But the words were beautiful. There are simple expressions for a perfect day. For example, it was an old Indian name of a girl. I don't remember the name, but it meant the perfect start, middle and ending to a day. And if you had a day like that, you never need to live again. You know.
And you had talked about things, symbolisms for things. And I know that there are certain people who use symbols that affect others.
They live by it. Yeah.
Can you tell me about those symbols?
Yeah. You see, what is incredible, you see, they're trying to stop me.
Of course, we'll continue.
I'll get as far as I can get. You see, this is their place. It's, you know, it's like you bully. You go in the playground, it's there. The bully's part of the playground.
Yes.
They don't want you there if they know that you're not scared of them, and you can show the other guys, hey, you don't need to be scared of this bully. This is all their tricks.
Yes.
You get forced out that part of the playground. That's what happens here.
Yes.
Ultimately, just like we couldn't see things before, but now we see them and we're like, what the hell?
Yes.
Why didn't we see that before? It was so obvious. We were spellbound. We've been born into a ritualistic spellbound where if you do see it and you try to do anything about it, they put you away in the insane asylum, or they put you on antidepressives. You just become an outcast. Ultimately, you become on the streets.
Yes.
Majority of people on the streets, they're very true, despite what other judgmental people may say. A lot of homeless people see the Matrix and they've given up. They don't have the power to fight it, and they understand the symbolism and the illusions, the witchcraft, the magic, the warlocks. We're born into it, and the more we see it, the more like, what the hell is always there, and they've been telling us. And the ones that resist, they're going to become more and more asleep, and maybe that recent phenomenon that happened, maybe that's helping them fall more asleep, like Sleeping Beauty, you know, or the poppy field in the Wizard of Oz. They're just going deeper and deeper into a haze, you know.
So those symbols, how do they affect people? Is there a spell that is...
Well, you know, the irony is they're in the portals. You see, that's how the portals protect themselves and how it's all encoded.
Yes.
It will lead them astray. You see, it's in tune to the human. It's in tune to the humans. So you will only go where you're worthy of going, and you'll go wherever you're going to go. It's all symbols. It's all image. Originally it was archetypes.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell you. It's so obvious. I feel like it's been said that, you know, spelling. It's all spells.
Yes.
We're born into it. We're, you know, institutions. You know, indoctrined. You know, it's.
Yes.
It's all by design. They become blinded by their intellect. See, we are the problem. They create us, and we take care of their problem. We manage each other. It's like that film, Ants. I don't know if you know the film I'm referring to, but all the other ants control all the ants, and
yes.
if you try and rise up, you're going to be handled. You know.
Yes.
So that's why a lot of people right now that have broken through, they're kind of isolated and biding their time, and they don't even believe in prepping anymore. They're just waiting for the next sale, the next event. They're just like, come on, bring it on. Mm-hmm. They're just ready. You know. But at the same time, none of this is a given. It will be a battle. There is a battle coming.
Yes. Is there a battle already?
Oh, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. There's already casualties of war, man. There's a lot. This is modern warfare. This is 5th or 6th. Generational warfare. The war is for you, not just for your mind. It's the Pied Piper claiming his Lucifer daddy's issues, claiming these are mine. Mm-hmm. They've proven themselves unworthy. There's no judgment. That's fine. Yeah, you're right, Lucifer. Damn it. Okay, you have them. You can have them. Take them around the merry-go-round again. I'll see them the next time. You know. So yeah, it's going on right now. There is a struggle.
So we know that the dark ones, the ones that are followers of Lucifer, are all from the Prime Creator.
Yeah, everyone works for God, everyone.
Mm-hmm. So why is it that, this is a question that many people would have, why is it that Prime Creator would allow this type of battle between the good and evil?
That's the only way you prevail. It's the only, like I said, for greatness, for awesomeness, there has to be effort, friction. And to experience this is the paradox, this is the paradigm, that this is actually an illusion.
Okay.
And Lucifer knows that. I mean, we're all archetypes, we're all avatars. This is a play. There has to be a battle. There's no real harm here. Everything, like I said, is encoded and protected. This will not be allowed to corrupt the pillars to the heavens. Mm-hmm. As above, so below. Like Clash of the Titans, the battles are done here, in this lower, dense place. This place is where it all happens. One of the places where it all happens. Mm-hmm. And it can only be allowed to happen here. And it is brutal. It is brutal. No doubt about it.
So we were speaking before about those who have split off from family members, from friends. We have seen the separation.
It started generations ago.
Can you tell me more about that?
Family aren't real family anyway. I know it's going to suck for some people to hear that, but you know, it's just the truth. You're born, it's a game. Family aren't real family. It's highly likely, just like it's highly likely a lot of these politicians, they're meant to be against each other behind the scenes, shaking hands and having cocktails together. It's highly likely even some of your family members aren't real family, that were old acquaintances and we're got roles to play here. But they're not family. Family doesn't really exist, as brutal as that sounds.
Would you explain that a little bit more?
Family is a construct within the Genesis protocol based on seductive, reproductive protocols, based on love. Also, people think love is the highest thing to attain. That's another form of programming. That doesn't mean I'm dark or don't believe in love. It just means there's things beyond love also. But all these protocols, the nucleus family is based on protocol of raising a child, okay, and keeping the generations going, hence Genesis, hence the epochs, hence, you know, simulations, civilizations. You, without love, without seductiveness, you would never have the Genesis protocol. So even though some of it might sound dark and heavy, it's actually all necessary. It's all by design. It's actually incredible design. It is remarkable.
Yes.
If you think about a semen, it's serpentine in its archonic form. The whole thing is serpentine. The whole serpent theme is the whole Genesis protocol. we try to define it, but and we do good jobs, but it's indefinable, and ultimately there is no judgment. Dave's higher self knows this, and he is not truly affected by this, and he's in safe quarters. But the element of Dave here, he does have one hell of a battle to go through, and we're giving him some rest now. But he knows there's going to be a major split and more shit that he personally has to do, and he agreed to do that, even though he's bummed out about it. He is.
But he says he's procrastinating in life. Is that true, or has he just been given a rest?
He's been given a rest because he's tricky. He's a naughty boy, and he calls rank, and he collars us in sometimes, and we have to put him back to sleep, which he agrees to. And we've saved his life quite a few times. And he knows, he gets it. He knows, and he's destroyed them with his light. He's blown them to smithereens. We've told him he's a warden of beasts, an interdimensional mediator. He keeps the beasts within him. This is part of the secret. They actually all exist within us. They try to pretend that we are their captives, but we are their captives. All the beasts, the monsters, the demons are within us trying to escape. Dave holds them, and he will never let them out.
What is he holding them for?
They're his prisoners.
When did this all begin?
It's ancient, and it's a battle, and it's a battle for him because he is going to separate from them, and that's part of the final battle when they will slay his avatar. He knows that. That's okay, he's fine with that and doesn't care.
So if you're saying that he is the warden of these beasts...
One of the wardens.
One of the wardens.
It was only revealed to him in his mid-40s. He didn't know that before.
How many are there?
There's quite a few. He's tamed them.
He's tamed them. So he's told me that he has an esoteric implant by some of these. Why is it that if he is the warden, that they are the prisoners, why are they controlling him?
Because none of this is a given. If he doesn't keep them tame, keep a control, keep them in line, they can take over. Some of them can escape.
Okay.
This is going on globally. This may have something to do with the end times. This is very complicated, not a given. David knows. We took care of that for him. He handled it. He was very brave. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore, but it did freak him out, man. He was concerned, but he understood it. And he's been very diligent since then, and he'll never let that happen again because he gets it now. We couldn't reveal everything at first.
Okay.
We had to do it in stages, and there's more. But for everyone's protection, it can only be revealed at the right times.
Okay.
When events unfold.
And these implants that he has, are they affecting him in any way?
It's basically cards that the other side hold, so they will always know where he is, when to get to him. He's aware of that. You know, he is in constant danger. He just is. But that's the life he has.
Did he agree to these?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
When did he agree?
When he asked for more knowledge.
Okay.
You don't get to know. You don't get to know and be shown everything without some pitfalls. Just by doing that, you get activated. He broke cover. He broke cover.
Is this during one of his journeys?
Yeah.
Okay. He knew what he was doing.
He always knows what he's doing. He's always been in control.
Would it help him to deactivate the implant?
He doesn't even have the answers to that.
Okay.
He doesn't know. I don't think he cares anymore. There's quite a lot of decadence in Dave. There's a lot of nonchalance and decadence, and We're trying to help him with that. We know that he's a live wire, and he'll never hurt anyone, and he doesn't believe in suicide anymore. He'll never take his life. His words are, "Not by my hands." But he really doesn't give a cahoot anymore about anything. And he sees everything as letting the cards fall now.
Okay.
He sees as turning it all around and using it against the dark side. That it doesn't matter. He understands it's all metaphor. That it might have been important in that moment. And that ultimately God is in control of everything and maybe allowed them to do it to scare the bejesus out of him and bring him to the next level. So he's not hung up on it, even if he did ask you. He's just very curious. He's always been a thinker. He's always been curious. He never stopped. That's the problem. He can't turn it off. He will never turn it off.
One of the things that is very curious was this glitch that he told me about.
He doesn't want to talk about that. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to discuss it. It did happen.
Yes.
It is part of the NPCs that are really here. It is a real phenomenon. He was privy to it. It almost broke him psychologically. Even though he's been through so much heavier stuff, that was a major reveal that was given way ahead of time to show him for the time that's going to come that not everyone is a real person. Not everyone is really operating with a real autonomously, let's just say. And then it will become more apparent. It's going to become more apparent. People are going to lose their minds. People are literally going to lose their minds in shock.
Now, when you say people are going to lose their minds, is it because they're going to see that most of the people on Earth are not real?
It's a combination of things. It's a combination of the construct itself collapsing and reality collapsing and a lack of point of reference and maybe a lack of what was required for a human soul to connect with a point of reference won't be able to connect, and it will create a psychotic break. He's had a vision of this. He's seen a lady dressed like she was in the 60s, but it was said in the future. He says the 60s because she was wearing a plastic see-through cape on her head like ladies used to wear in the 60s and 70s to protect the hair from the rain.
Yes.
And the look in her eyes was that a disconnect from source, a disconnect from reality. Just he saw the 1,000-mile stare, a psychotic break, and he understood it was a vision that was to come. There will be. This is how hard. He doesn't want to be a Debbie Downer, as they say.
Yes.
But there are some hard things that are coming, and it's better to know. And if you want to be all love and peace and believe everything's groovy, that might work for you, and that's fine. And it's going to work for Dave. He's not going to have a psychotic break, but many people are. It's just a fact.
Yes.
It's just a fact.
Many years ago, I had a session with a man who told me that, or his higher self told me that people needed to learn how to connect with their higher power.
That's why they got to them first. They knew it was coming. It's part of the Pied Piper
Yes.
saga, poem, philosophy, story. That's what the first seal was about. That's part of, it's multi-leveled, and ultimately it's a metaphor. It's allowing the vampire into your door. It's saying, I give you permission to come in.
Yes.
And then once the vampire's in and starts causing mischief, he says, well, you knew I was a vampire. So they've blocked that out. A lot of people will struggle to... Alba, you gave a good analogy. Two trains parallel to each other, and the trains are getting further and further.
Yes.
The gap is wide, and it was very hard for people to jump train now, or jump ship. It's they've lost. It's all by design, but it's a simulation within the simulation. It's going to be harder to even remember source. It's like a mind wipe again. We were born in this place with a mind wipe. God knows what happened to us before. It's gone on and on before. It's not the first time.
So the first seal was what?
I believe it was the injection. It was a mass paradigm shift. It was a mass relinquishing of sovereignty for the masses.
Yes.
These are all about giving up sovereignty. All the seals are about giving up sovereignty. They're all hard choices to allow in the beast system. It's all there to see. It's all written. We give you so many ways to see this. We tell you in fairy tales and horror films and sci-fi films, in books and scripture. Your friends will tell you it's all there, but it's, it's people don't want to see it. They don't want to know, and that's a story in and of itself. Mm-hmm. It's not for everyone this time. It's not for everyone. People are not ready to make the exodus this time. It's only a few that will. It's the minority that will, and that's not a bad thing. That's fine. There's no judgment.
So those who made the exodus, who died, they were meant to die?
Everything's meant to happen.
Okay. So now that the first seal has been broken, what is the second seal?
It's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about that?
I don't want to be honest. I mean, I've listened to many versions from many people. I can only reiterate what I've heard. Mm-hmm. I have my suspicions that, number one, the way that this reality breaks, even if we have an idea, whatever it is, I said reality breaks, I mean, whatever, the way this reality works, whatever breaks will be something we couldn't have even thought of, because this place is supernatural. We have ideas. Some people thought it was going to be a CME. Some people think it's going to be mass unrest, unpeace on the earth, small arms warfare with knives. Some people think it could be another type of lockdown. Whatever it is, it will be global, international, sudden, swift, and most importantly, a paradigm shift again, and more hard choice making, and more giving up of sovereignty, and more of a resistance, and it will become harder again. I don't want to pollute the answer, because I have been looking into this on a level here within this realm, and I don't want to pollute the answer with just conjecture of what I've looked into. I would suggest people to remain sovereign and to not give into fear and just observe. Just observe it, because there are more seals to come. We're just getting started.
How many seals need to be broken?
Well, apparently it's about 5 to 6. By the time it gets to the 5th one, it's gonna be like being on an hallucinogen already. This world is going to be unrecognizable already by the 3rd or 4th, changing very quickly, just like the world is not the same now as it was prior to 2020.
No.
We all know that it changed. Something shifted, like a gear was shifted. That every time it shifts, reality completely changes. So, yeah. David doesn't really want to talk too much about that. There's much that could be said. He wants to unaffect it. He respects virtual free will, and he doesn't want to build false hopes or give out false information. He wants to see the cards just fall down.
Okay. One of the things that he saw, though, was a time collapse. Is that one of the seals, or is that the final seal?
It's hard to know, because that was a major quest. I believe it was more subjective just for Dave, but Dave is not the only experiencer here. It will be for multiple of people, and considering it was a time collapse, it will be the end of the construct, very end of the protocol, when time itself collapses, which is what it was the biggest quest he asked to see, and he did see it, and that's what it is, and it's a beautiful thing. It's not a bad thing. It's awesome. It's it's true liberation. We've never known anything like it. We have not experienced it before. It's beyond comprehension. It's beyond comprehension.
Now, when you say that time collapses, will it just be on Earth or everywhere?
It's you see, Earth is this is an illusion. This is a realm that we are co-creating. It collapses within us. We are freed. We step out of the avatar, out of the biological body.
This reminds me a lot of the old Star Trek, or the new Star Trek series where they had a holodeck, and they were able to program whatever it is that they wanted to experience in that holodeck.
That's what it is, and it's everywhere and everywhere all at once. Anything you want is beyond. It's beyond anything we can comprehend right now. Which, as we get closer to comprehending it, it will happen. But it's true living. It's the way we were supposed to be. The way it is supposed to be. It is all blissful, but it's also interactive. It's not just blissing out and doing nothing. You still will be doing things, but you will be unbound by the prism of time.
And this is something that is in our future?
It's more or less in everyone's future. It's in everyone's future. Even the ones that won't make this exodus, they will eventually get there. They're just, just surprised they're not fed up by now, but guess they needed some more. Guess they needed some more.
I'm very curious about the portals that you spoke about before.
He's in them now. He's always in them.
Can you tell me about these portals that we have?
He's not going to really be able to, because the nature of them is that they're encoded and protected.
Yes.
If he defines them, he's taking something that is beyond comprehending it and using archetypes through letters, through words. The closest thing he can say is diamonds and shapes and beautiful old stuff that he's seen from Egyptian type of imagery. Just beautiful symmetry and lights and journeying through, like mirrors through mirrors. That's the best analogy, when you face a mirror to a mirror, but you feel at the same time that it is in tune with you, and you will go you're going back and forth in time. You're going through the time construct and through dimensions.
All right.
It's not limited to anything.
So if that's the case, is that what is used when we do a hypnosis session to a past life? Are they actually going through one of these portals within themselves?
Highly likely, yes. The difference with David is he fucking analyzes everything, which is also his downfall. And to experience some things, you have to sometimes not analyze and not understand it. You have to do it. David is a thinker. He's figured out so much, so we hide more from him to help him here. He could not operate here if he knew everything he knew up there. It would be no need for him to be here. It's an oxymoron, it's a paradox, it's just what it is. We all use them, Alba.
So these portals are within ourselves?
Yes.
Do we have a certain amount of them? Do they have anything to do, for example, with the chakras?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Can you describe that without getting into anything that...
It's your energy, it's your life force, it's the vibration and energy of everything you ever was in all of creation. Everything you ever did, everything you ever thought will move you back and forth, and on the way you will have to give the code. You will have to display through symbology and telepathically, but I can't express it with words. You go through something to be able to pass through them, and the deal is, when you pass through them, you're no longer in the place before. The place before doesn't exist anymore. It's not a journey, it's they're different realms. And once you get to a realm, the place before doesn't exist anymore. See, right now, this place on Earth is like this realm. It's so important to us. It's such a big deal, but there's a lot going on elsewhere as well that dwarfs this. But this is important. It all interconnects. It does all affect each other. That's why it's still significant. But David is trying to express that these other portals, these other realms you go, are just as significant, and the one before loses its significance once you're there. That's why questions don't exist in the other ones.
Okay.
And it become irrelevant.
One of the things that I experience whenever I go through a past life regression with a client is that I feel that I am bilocating with them. When you go through a portal, is that like bilocation? You are in one place physically, but in another place with your soul. How does that work?
It feels like the portal owns me. It feels very familiar. It feels like I've been through them a million times.
Okay.
But it feels like, oh, you again. It's like being on a roller coaster ride. And to be honest, I don't fully remember it all. I just know that I've done it. And I know that obviously when you're doing it, you remember it all.
Yes.
And I can't really speak for you, but I'd say it's highly likely that by bearing witness and being an observer, yes, it would be evidential that you're being given permission to share that portal and you have protection, Alba. When anything is for a true deed of intent, this is part of the encoding. This is what it can read. It knows everything about us. These portals know more about us than we know about ourselves. That's how you'll be granted permission, and that's how you probably are traveling through with that person via their permission to bear witness. I mean, that's really, I guess, we're defining the construct, part of the construct.
But the person has to give permission too.
Yes. Yeah, but this is very easily done. It can be done in a heartbeat.
Yes. Yes. And it seems that in David's case, he has not given permission, or has not been given permission to go through these portals. Is that the case?
Oh, he's been through them.
Okay.
Oh no, he has been through them.
But today?
Oh yes, today there are limits. What he's not sure of is if he's limiting himself or if he's being blocked. If he's being a coward or if he's being blocked, it's hard for him to see or to say. The truth is, he probably needs to go deeper into hypnosis to be able to go through them. And probably because he's just defining them and discussing them, by their very nature, they are encrypted, encoded. He's said this many times, even in the sense that they will not be allowed to be analysed or defined or decoded. They hold up the pillars to the heavens. David knows that. He's probably very highly respectful of them. That's probably what it's ultimately about.
So let's find out who is the one who is keeping him from going deeper. Just take a very deep breath. And I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I get to number 1, you will be in a different place. Place of understanding. 3. Going deeper. 2. Letting go. And 1. What is this place?
I'm back in nowhere. Which isn't bad by my books.
So I'd like for you to just take a moment and just enjoy that place of nowhere.
It's where you came from. When you're from nowhere, you need for nothing. It's where we all came from.
Yes.
Feels pretty damn good here.
Just take a moment and enjoy it. And in that place of nowhere, as you're enjoying the nothingness of it, you'll recall the decision and a choice that you made to seek more, to know more. What happens next?
He wants to know. He wants to remember. He's seen glimpses of it. It's blocked from him. He sees... Somehow he got into trouble. He's in a bit of a pickle, old Dave. He's not from a pickle jar. He's from a very beautiful place.
Yes.
And he will return there. But something happened and he's in a bit of a bind, a bit of a pickle.
Would it help for him to understand what got him there?
He's put so much stuff in the way and there could be stuff in the way. There is definitely stuff in the way, not letting him see. There is, every time he almost sees it, it's like magnets repelling each other. Every time he catches himself and sees that moment, he's pushed away.
I want you to understand who put all of those blocks in the way. Did he do it?
He's in some type of war.
Tell me about that war.
He is some type of soldier.
Describe it for me.
He may even be a prisoner. It's hard to understand.
The more you talk, the more you'll understand.
We may have part of him trapped.
Notice where it is.
Some type of hold on him.
Okay, find that. Go to the origin of where that happens.
Something to do with people he was hanging out with, stuff. Stuff from beyond this place.
Yes, continue.
He's broken free. They have a hold of him, but he has broken free and he's making a fucking run for it. And they'll do everything to get him back. Everything, including all the fuckery they've done with his mind, all the mind wiping.
Who are these that have him prisoner, or had him prisoner?
They are dark entities, they're not good. I mean, there's no judgment, right? But he may have even been like them once. But he woke up. He made a choice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's too dark. He will remember everything and he will see him closer to the time. He has said earlier on there will be the final battle. It will all come to pass. Ultimately it could be them that are the cowards, all the dirty tricks they use. And they've gone to great lengths to sabotage him. From the outside it can look like Dave's fucking his life up. But he's been highly sabotaged. There's been tremendous heaviness and sabotage.
Is it the same ones that he ran from?
Yeah, it's more like broke free. They actually have a part of him captive, which is why it's tricky. It's like a torture. There's a part of him captive, but he also has part of them captive. It's like when an animal's biting you and you're going to try and get free from that grip, but as you break free, they bite harder. It's painful. Do you know what I mean? So you're delicate about the operation you're under. It's like a strategical operation he's doing, and it can't all be revealed at once.
Perhaps that's why he's here today.
Ah, it's a big part of it for sure. He's getting braver. You know, he already had major fallout from breaking cover, and more is to come. He's influenced heavily people just from being around them, and people out there that know a lot heavily influenced by anything he says. They can't quite gauge it because Dave's from a completely different angle from them. He has a completely different perspective on things that actually blows their minds, and it's partly why he's isolated. He will never fit in here. He's not supposed to. He wanted to. He gets that now. He's given up on that, which is good.
Good.
That's part of the process, and you know, the more he's given up, the more the things are actually accelerating here. So it's all in balance.
Okay. Would there be a positive to freeing that part of him that's still locked up? Could that be done today? Because it seems that if he was on their side, there was some sort of a contract.
He's broke that contract. That's why there's an issue. That's why they tapped him. That's why they tagged him.
Yes.
You know, they were pissed, man. You know. Well, they think in for a penny, in for a pound. No, there's always a choice. Always a choice. You can always change your contract. You can always wake the fuck up.
Yes.
And call it, and call them out, and break your contract and rewrite a new one with the one most high.
Good.
And that's what David did. And he's mighty glad of it, but he's not out of the fire, out of the woods yet. You know, he's done all that within this realm, you see. Maybe that's why he had to do it. He could only do it here in this realm. Maybe he ran to this realm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't think of that.
All right, so let's find out exactly what happened.
Well, okay, either you're going to get resistance, I already feel it.
That's all right. That's all right. Just take a deep breath and go deeper. Just allow this all to unfold. Where are you?
The last thing I remember before I was here, I was in a place with other people, and I was making the decision to come here. Mm-hmm. Viewing things, discussing things. I looked very similar to how I look now, but more mature. Mm-hmm. I'd say even more manly. Had a better physique to me, better posture, but I had the same intense heaviness about me. And I knew I was about to come here, and it was not a good feeling. It was like, oh shit, we're gonna do this. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do this, like you're about to jump off a plane with a parachute.
Are the others also jumping at the same time?
We're not literally jumping, we're going through the last details of the planning. Yeah, we're all about to do this thing.
How many are there?
Not many. I remember like feeling like being around 5 to 7 people.
Yes.
Around me in some type of, just felt like a war room, some type of when I say operating, I mean like a war operating room, like where you'd sit down and play chess.
Yes.
It was dark colors, metallic dark colors, just grey. Wasn't very luxurious.
Yes.
And that's the last thing I remember.
And what is it that is the plan?
Wow, you're in the pain. That's all been covered up. That's part of the deal. You don't get to remember. Mm-hmm. Ah!
What is that pain?
Oh, massive pain in my leg, bottom of my right leg.
What do you imagine that is?
Left leg.
I want you to find the origin of that.
I have no idea. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. Wow. Feels like a blood clot.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to go deep into it and see what that is.
Oh, he has a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. David hasn't been to a doctor in years and years and years. Oh.
Yes. I want you to go deep into it and tell me where that origin of that is. Find the moment in which that pain.
Oh, that's interesting. I have no fucking idea. Mm-hmm. He's covered up so much.
Yes. Is that from this lifetime or a different lifetime?
He doesn't know.
Well, if you did know, what would be the answer?
Some motherfucker's torturing me somewhere.
All right, so I want you to find it. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I want you to find where is that torture being done. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now. Where are you? Yes.
I'm in another place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is real or not.
No, I don't want you to think about it. I want you to just relive it.
Some part of me is captive.
Where are you being kept?
It's not even me, it's my essence.
Okay.
In a fucking jar.
Okay.
Some type of high-tech jar.
Okay.
Like my consciousness. And they've got a part of me there. Right, the dark side.
Mm-hmm. And what is keeping that essence captured?
The threat I made to them.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
Break free, break my rusty chains and run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is keeping you from breaking that jar?
No, I now have, you see. I'm in the jar, but I'm also outside of the jar. They have a part of me in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the part I'm going to have to say adios to.
What would take you from breaking that jar? What would it take?
I don't think I can.
Let's attempt that. Would you like to do that?
I wouldn't even know how.
I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I want you to send a blast into that jar.
Maybe blasts of light.
What color is that light?
It's always been white in my book.
Beautiful. I'm going to sound the tuning fork, and when I do that, you're going to blast that essence right out of the jar. 1, 2, and 3. Send that light in there. Begin to crack that jar. Send it again. Even stronger. What's happening to the jar?
I'm saying goodbye to a part of me there. It's always going to remain there. It's their technology. I'll never be completely free. That part of me, part of it is letting go, you see.
Very good.
It's all metaphor.
Let go.
Adios.
Release it.
You can have it, man. I fucking don't need it. You want it that bad, it's yours.
And I want you to transform that part of you. Transform it. You have the ability to transform it. Imagine transforming it into a beautiful spark of light.
That's very interesting.
Watch the transformation.
They stole a part of me. Motherfuckers. Sorry, I swear.
Transform it. You can do that. They stole a different part of you.
It's only because they're weak. Fucking cowards.
What's
Always the
happening?
same, isn't it?
What's happening to it?
As I understand it, they're losing all their power. It was all a spell. They get you to believe it.
Yes.
It's real and it isn't.
So
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
So what's happening?
I don't give a shit about it anymore. I'm moving on now.
So release it and let it go now.
You'll be dealt with by God. This goes on and it'll be resolved. It's just the way it is.
So I want you to notice how holding on to all of that had been affecting your lifetime. Can you forgive yourself for holding on to something?
I already did. I already did. There's nothing to forgive. I just want what's mine now. I just want just the bare minimum, you know?
So I want you to notice what's happening to your leg now.
It's fine.
Beautiful.
The leg's fine.
So what do you imagine that this soul has learned from that experience?
That my holographic image has been fucked with, damaged, and that I'm strengthening it and I'm making it whole and strong so that other entities can't fuck with me, can't disrespect me, can't manipulate me or bound me.
Yes.
And that's my responsibility to maintain my holographic image, because that's all we really have down here. The avatar is formed around that. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but there was damage.
Yes.
A piece is missing. Yeah.
And in our conversation beforehand, David and I had talked about his feeling of isolation, of not being excited about things anymore. What do you tell him about that?
No, we understand him. He's got to a good place because he's got to be neutral. You know, he is on the spectrum of being bipolar, so he's always noticed whenever he gets too happy, like 3 times in a row, like a lot of bad shit happens. So he's kind of learned to just stay neutral, and he chose in this he chose in this lifetime that guitar would be his aid. So just keep on with that. It doesn't have to be for anyone. the irony is it'll probably mean more to other people than it does to him, that he can just use it as an energy exchange, as a meditation to keep him calm and to get everyone out of his fucking head, you know. So when he's feeling bummed out, he can, like he always did since he was a child, just play and don't worry about all the noise. In fact, we would like to see him in the adversary of as it becomes more and more chaotic and irrational, to focus more on playing as an irony, even though he knows there is no guitar, like there is no spoon. Just do it anyway, for the fucking hell of it. Prove them all wrong. You know, make something beautiful out of this madness.
And is that the reason why there is so much noise today? Is that one of the things that he needed to learn about today?
Yeah, so interesting that you say that. Every time he's gotten to a great place, but it is also real. It is real, it's not imaginary. Every time he was about to achieve something great, there was a disturbance.
Yes.
Like the Truman Show. You brought that film up earlier, but everyone's seen it.
Yes.
It's a phenomenon he's noted, and he's questioned if he's not paranoid.
Yes.
It's going to happen because that's part of the deal.
So is he actually bringing about these noises?
He's going to rise. No, he's not.
Okay.
He's going to rise above it. It's part of the story has been revealed. It can't all be revealed. He's breaking free, and to break free, he has to be indifferent to it now.
Okay.
He has to do great things while the noise is happening. Didn't he just say that, ironically? It's amazing, Alba. This is a big part of the decode for him.
Yes.
Because he wanted it to go away, and he tried to block it out, and he'd been a naughty boy. He'll put his hand up in the air and say he's been a naughty boy, but it's never been to bliss out. Like, he drinks too much now. He admits it because he's trying to block out fucking noise. You know? And he's doing a good job.
So we could see that even within all of the distractions, all of the noise, he could still be in a very blissful state himself, as long as he
is by default. He is a blissful, joyful soul, but he's also noticed that being blissful and joyful around people triggers them. He has been attacked by them.
Yes.
By the demons within them, for lack of a better word. He's basically biding his time now. He's preparing.
Yes.
He's preparing. There's much to come.
Yes.
He would like to thank you. It's been very, very revealing. I know he would have liked to have revealed more. He is a very careful person. David is very strategic, very careful. People may think he's aloof or a joker or a player, but he's actually the ones who really know him know he's very thoughtful, and he does plan, he does think. He's very careful. He's playing this like a game of chess. He really wants the higher side to win. He doesn't want to mess it up.
And I know that nobody comes into my life by accident either. Just like I had told him the story of the man who gave me some information. So why is it that David has come into my life at this time? What is the message that I needed to hear today?
Well, I think his comments that he gave to you were always very supportive from the beginning. And we're all supporting each other because we all have moments of needing a sanity check.
Yes.
And we are all grouping ready, because it can appear that he's worried about this because he's always been called heavy, and he is. But this is the time of the gathering. Yes. That's ultimately what it's about. And just like that song, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. It's the time of the gathering. It's the time of lighting fire torches, sharpening swords, putting on the armor of God, being brave, stepping up, breaking cover, coming out into the light, and holding the energy. And David's been very brave recently. He's done things he never thought would be possible, and he's got people to thank that are encouraging him to break patterns, basically break molds and be brave and put himself out there on the edge, because it deserves to be done, and people could really benefit from it. But he has been holding back because he's literally terrified of his power. And but he's at a point of just not giving a shit anymore, because he sees the people in power fucking lunatics. So there's nothing to lose anymore. And timing, yeah, because he warms to you, Alba. He warms to you. He warms to people who hold the light, who see it. He wants nothing more to just be around a campfire with people like that and rejoice and be in good feeling. He asks for nothing. He will be like that, and that time is coming. And that's about it.
Very good. Now, I understood that at the beginning of the session we were melding with the other David that has lived everything and done everything. Is that who am I speaking with today?
No, it's been back and forth.
So who is the one that's been giving him information and giving me information?
It is his higher self.
Okay.
His higher self is in many places.
Okay.
Ultimately resides in a beautiful, beautiful bright star. An ever-knowing, ever-beautiful, it's just, you can't stay there forever. You got to go off and do shit sometimes. Yeah. It takes a tremendous amount of energy. That's how you can only meet through those portals. You have to bridge it all to meet and share, and it's exhausting. Maybe he will get better at it with time. He's come a long way. He's learnt to do it.
Yes.
He's learnt a lot, and in the nick of time as well.
Thank you. And hopefully you will continue to guide him along with his own guide.
Oh, he has others. He has very powerful ones that he remembers. He has one very, very beautiful feminine one. It's so powerful. She's been there since he was an infant. She is so powerful, so bright, that he can't even stare at her directly.
Wow. How many guides are with him today during this session?
We've always been here.
Okay.
I don't know, it's not for me to say.
Okay. A handful.
A handful. They've always been here, we just forget. We forget, it's so dense here. You know.
Good. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who has assisted with this session today. I know he's going to really like it. Thank the higher self for all of the information.
Be patient with him, Alba. He's going to change his mind and not want to see it. And yeah, he's going to recoil like a gun, but he loves you and he wants to thank you very much. He believes in you wholeheartedly.
Thank you very much for that. And with that, I'd like for you to go ahead and begin to disconnect from all of those energies. 5, wide awake. Completely alert, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome back.
Hey, hello there.
Hello there.
Howdy. That was really nice. Right on, Alba. Thank you.
You did good. Did you feel it was quick?
No, I did feel like it took some time. I felt.
How long do you feel it was?
Maybe an hour and a half. Wow, hour 36. Wow, yeah. I'm good with time, even if I'm under. But no, yeah.
A lot of stuff came out today.
It's been, you know what's interesting is it's still coming out, which I'm sure you get this. And obviously some of it might be for you so much. I already understand the metaphor of it all. That, see, it loops back on itself, back in the materium and the physical state. That it plays out here. It's both things. It's esoterical and it's the materium, and it's navigating it all, which this helps do. It focuses it, and then you start to see the patterns that have happened throughout your life that's been bugging you.
So were you able to see a lot of that? Or understand?
Yes, there were moments of breakthroughs, absolutely, but I had to work it. It wasn't easy for me, I have to admit.
Well, you were very resistant.
I was so resistant. At one point, I was almost going to jump up and say, so lovely to meet you, but this just isn't for me, but I hate giving up. And then it suddenly did work.
And I wasn't going to give up on you. I think you knew that.
Which is why I didn't want to give up on you. And recently, I'm not giving up on anything. I'm seeing everything through. and it's definitely real.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely went through something there. You know.
And you notice the noise started just when...
It's yeah, you know.
But that was perfect also.
Yeah.
Because that was needed for you to understand that there's going to be a lot of distractions, a lot of noise, and you still need to be on target.
Rise above
Yeah.
it. Yeah, can't be a pushover anymore.
And that's going to happen with...
The loudest one can't win, sorry to overspeak you, the irony.
But I think we all need to learn about that because there is a lot of noise going around.
It's only going to increase. It's going to get louder and louder.
But we have to remain on focus on our track.
Yes, and you were very good at reinforcing that and not giving up with that and not freaking out, like, you know, didn't postpone it or like...
So what do you think? Do you want to share this?
I noticed you always ask people as soon as they come out of hypnosis, and I do, but I would like to be given at least 24 hours to think about it, because for a number of reasons, just because I have previously been a truck driver, and if the shit hits the fan again, I might need to be a truck driver again. I don't want anything held against me.
We think that this is watched by everybody.
First of all, I'm honoured that you'd even ask if I want to. So
of course.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, but you think that everybody's watching it. This is not on TV.
This is very true.
The people who are watching this are our people.
Yeah, and this is how I need to change as well. I need to not give a cahoot anymore, and to not worry about... No one gives a damn anyway, and the only ones that you should care about are the ones that aren't going to judge you, you know?
Yeah, and this is something that when you watch or listen, because it's not so much about watching, when you listen to something like this, other people have experienced this too.
Yeah.
And it helps them. So you're really doing it for the people who are really part of our family.
I hear you.
It's not for the employees. It's not. Now, if you are a political figure, or you're an actor, or you're somebody who is in people's faces that they'll recognize, I would never put this out.
No, it's just I'm a painfully private, secluded, isolated individual, so it's just pretty terrifying to share something like this. I don't even know why. It's just an experience, but I guess because it's raw.
It's raw.
Inside of me.
It's
Hello.
raw. It is. It is. But you didn't say anything that is personal. You're basically putting out facts about reality.
No, it's going to be interesting to listen back, because I'm already starting to forget some stuff. Yeah.
So David, thank you for coming here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I wanted to let everybody know that we are in Liverpool right now.
Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you from?
I'm originally from London, born and raised in London, and then somewhere all around after that.
So this is very interesting that I see him here today because, well, I only had 2 sessions here, and you're right there real fast.
Oh, I snapped it up.
So tell everybody how this happened.
Well, I've been wanting to have a session with Alba for quite a while. For me personally, I didn't want to do it online. I wanted it to be in person, and I didn't have the resources to go out to the States. So she sends out her reminders, and they get snapped up within the second. And the last time I had one, I didn't jump on it, and I regretted it.
There you go.
And
it wasn't the right time.
It wasn't the right time. So when this one came through, bam! I just even chose Liverpool, even though I'm from London. And yeah. It's a great town to do it in, but you're leaving here soon, I guess.
Yeah. I'm only here for a couple of days, so if you're watching this video, no, I'm still not here. So I'm going to be traveling a little bit more, and then we're leaving. But this session was really interesting because it wasn't a fun, like, ha-ha, wonderful session. It was really talking about things that are to come and how we have to prepare ourselves. And it's really amazing that there's absolutely no noise right now.
And this is only moments after. I've literally gone for a whiz and come back, and 2 minutes later it's a pin drop.
Yeah, so it's amazing how it was so noisy during the session and now nothing. So that's how it goes.
It's been an amazing journey. Thank you, Alba. Do I get to give you one of those hugs?
You get a hug. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sweetie.
And thank you all for watching. I'll see you at the next time at another video. And if you want a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com, sign up for the newsletter, and click on the link as soon as it comes out. Much love to you.
Much
Bye.
love. Stay sovereign.